Hello world, my name is Nostalgia Tash and I'm here to introduce you to my brand new podcast, Nostalgia Tash Watches Disney Plus Movies. Now notice that I did not say watching all Disney Plus movies. Why did I not say watching all Disney Plus movies? Because I did not realize that there are 664 of them currently available on Disney Plus UK, and as we know, they are constantly adding new ones. So I felt like I needed to establish some criteria to make it a little bit more tangible for myself and my sanity. So in order to make Disney Plus movie watching an achievable and tangible goal for myself, I came up with 3 criteria to help narrow down my movie watching pool and create a bit more focus for the purpose of this podcast. The first criteria is that the movies must at least be an hour long. In the Disney Plus movie tab, there also are all of the shorts and all of the extended TV show movie sort of things, like 45 minutes long. So all of those have gotten the cut because technically they are not real movies according to my criteria. The second criteria is that I will not be including any Star Wars or Marvel movies in this rewatch. This is a Disney-themed rewatch, and I feel like Marvel and Star Wars are their own brands. They can have their own podcasts. There is not room for them in this podcast. And the third criteria, the nostalgic factor. And the nostalgic factor is what sort of cap do I put, or a year cap, on the movies that I'm watching, because everything after that gives me some nostalgic vibes and everything before that is sort of just like memories, I guess. So what year are you allowed to start being nostalgic? What year is sort of your nostalgic cutoff? These were the questions I was asking. Now, the official definition of nostalgia is a sentimental longing or wistful affection for a period in the past. Nostalgic is experiencing a sentimental or wistful yearning for the happiness felt in a former place, time, or situation. So theoretically, you can be nostalgic for yesterday, a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, but I feel like nostalgia in its truest form is like reminiscing about a time period, like what's my equivalent of the good old days, where things were better but like not better, but at the time, in the moment, in that time period, you were like, yeah, things are awesome, I have it all figured out. Let's be honest, maybe that's no time in your life. But for the purposes of this podcast, I decided that my nostalgic cutoff year would be 2010, because that's the year I graduated high school. So that means that any movie that was made after 2010, currently on the Disney Plus Movies tab, was not going to be included in this podcast. Unfortunately, we had to split up some franchises, but we did what we had to do. So those are the 3 main criteria. So we now have 416 movies that I will be watching and reviewing and talking about. If you find that something you might enjoy, join me every week where I discuss a set of movies, sometimes with special guests. We'll go over the trivia, we'll go over some artist highlights, we'll review if we think the movie is even any good. And maybe you'll come across some movies that you forgot about. Maybe you'll come across some movies you didn't know existed. Maybe you will disagree with me on what is a good movie versus what is a bad movie. Maybe the content of this podcast is irrelevant and you're just my family who's going to listen because you support and love me. Or you're some random person from my past who just wants to know what I've been up to the last few years. Regardless of your reason for tuning in, just tune in. Please and thank you. Okay, bye.